What is going on, folks? We're back here with another video, and today we are not working on Model 3 because you can see we have the finished Model 3, but we are working on drawing number 3. Just like any other drawing that we've done so far, we're going to start it the same way. Once we have our finished, completed model, we'll go ahead and submit that, save that, but our next step is to hit the plus sign in the bottom left-hand corner, then select Create Drawing. At this point, we'll go to my Onshape, and we will select our drawing template, and then we'll hit OK. It's going to load up that drawing template for us. And we'll wait. Eventually, it'll load up for us. Now, model number 3 is going to be a 1-to-1 model. So the scale right here is going to be 1-to-1. We can select the model. And now that we have that model selected, make sure that it's oriented the correct way. And we can see that it is. Once it loads, I'm going to go ahead and do a left click to place my front view or my base view. And I'm going to move my cursor directly up in order to get my top view. Just remember, the stuff can be adjusted later on. So if it's not perfect, don't worry about it. We'll go ahead and once again, left click our base view and drag straight to the right to create our side view. Left click, and then once again, left click our base view, up 45, and click for our isometric. So those are all of our views. The very first thing I'm going to do is adjust the scale of my isometric. It's looking a little big. It's looking a little bulky. So let's double click, and we're going to double left click on the view, and we're going to adjust the scale to 1-to-2. We're going to make it a little bit smaller, a little bit more manageable for our drawing. Go ahead, adjust that, and we're going to go ahead and hit the green check mark to place it. I'll scoot that over to the top right-hand corner, and then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and right-click on my isometric view, show/hide, show shaded view. Now you can see that we have my shaded view that shows up right there, and our next step is to add our hidden lines across our orthographic views. So the next step would be to left click, and then I'll do another right click, and I'll go ahead and show hidden lines. It looks like my computer's lagging here for a minute, so let's just give it a second. Let me reload. I'll reload the page. Hopefully that'll help. Oh, come on. I don't want to have to restart this video. Cool. So we have our views placed. Once again, I'm going to right click and I'm going to show shaded view. And that should, wonderful, get my shaded view for me. So let's go ahead and do a single left click on each one of our 2D orthographic views. I'll right click, I'll show/hide, and I will show hidden lines. When I do so, you can see the wonderful hidden line showing up. I'm going to scoot that down just a hair. And I'll end up scooting this down just a hair. Just try to get everything roughly placed. Next step, center mark, center line. So I'm going to go right into my drop down arrow. I'm going to grab center mark, and any place I see a curve, that would be there, that would be there, that would be all of these circles meet together. So that would be right there, that's going to be right there, and that's going to be right there, as well as right here and right there. That is going to be all of our center marks there. And it looks like in my example drawing, I'm actually missing a couple. I'm missing this one, and I'm missing this one. So I'm going to have to re-upload that. But our next step after we have this completed is annotating our drawing. So we're going to go from center mark to edge center line. And I'm trying to find the center of all of my holes. Now I understand this can be a little bit difficult, but we'll try. So we'll go ahead and hit one. We'll go ahead and hit the other, and that's my center mark going across. And then I should once again be able to click and click to extend that across. I am also going to go onto my side view here and get the little tiny hole. And I'm also going to the side view and getting the this hole as well going across. Technically there's one more that we're going to do on this drawing here. So I'm going to click here and here, and that's going to show the center mark of my cutout kind of down there as well. And that should be it. That should be it. So let's go ahead and let's start adding in some dimensions. So the first dimensions I'll add is on this top view. Let's go ahead and just get those out of the way. So using a standard old dimension tool, I'm going to click the dimension, click on the corner, and click on the center line, and that is going to be a 1-inch dimension. And I want to drag that up just a little bit, just like that. We're going to go in from the side and find the size of our extension in the back, and that's going to extend out at 1/2 inch or 0.5. Wonderful. Go ahead and get that placed, and let's move on to the next one. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. All right, cool. The next step, we are going to zoom, and I'm going to get the size of this curve right here. Not quite a full circle. That's our radius. So that will pop out at 0.25. And then this one is our full circle. That's that tiny little circle on the top, what I like to call the lock set. Go ahead, bring that out. That's going to be a diameter of 0.25. And this top dimension is going to be modified. So I'm going to go into the bottom section here and type through top only. And the reason I'm saying that is if we look at the side view, we can see that the hole, this tiny hole here or that tiny hole there, only extends through to the open part, and it does not extend all the way through or down through to my base. Awesome. That's all the dimensions for the top view. Let's go ahead to the side view. Let's get the side view done, and we'll do the front view last. I know I mentioned that we are going to stack our smaller dimensions inside of our larger dimensions, so that's going to be an example here. We're going to click the edge to the center point of that circle, drag it out 1 1/8, that's 1.25. And then once again, we'll go from one side all the way to the other this time, bring it up, showing as 2. You see my larger dimension outside of my smaller dimension. Great. Let's move to this side over here. So we do have a small one. I'll go ahead and do that first, and that is the size of that guy right there. So I'm going to bring it out, and that's that keyhole size. That's 0.1. And I'm also going to get my entire height, which should read as 4. Now you can see stuff's not fitting too nicely, but luckily it's not a big deal. All I have to do is slide my view in, and I'll be good to go. Cool. So I am also going to show my entire length down below of my base at 2.5. I'm going to show the base height right here, and that's 0.625 or 5/8. And then we're going to go through and, we're going to go through and we're going to click the edge of my model all the way to this second dotted line. That's going to show the depth of my little cutout here. It's a little trick I threw in for you guys. And one last one on my front view, that's going to be my 2 fillets here, and both of those are set at 0.25. So instead of adding one here and adding one here, I'm just going to double click, and I'm going to go to the edge, space, X2, and click away, and there you go. We're almost done. We have one last view to dimension out, so let's get to it. We're going to throw 2 inches across the width of my base. That's 2 right there. Perfect. And then we are going to dimension the keyhole width right there. And we're going to bring this outside of the dimension. I don't want to leave the number in the view, so I'm going to kind of drag it out just to be over here outside. And let's go ahead and throw in a few of our diameter dimensions. So the first one's the overall size. This is that wide one. That's going to be a diameter of 2. Let's do the inner one, and the one that has the keyhole in it. This one's going to show up as a radius. It's going to be a little bit different. And that actually should show up as a radius of 0.625. So I am not sure why that's reading correctly, because I have another drawing that it is reading correctly. But I promise that is our 0.625, and I'll fix it for you, so don't worry about it. And then the last one here is we're going to go in here and place it right here. And that one should read a diameter of 1.75. However, this is going to be modified. So let's go ahead and double click on this dimension here. let's go ahead and go to our bottom row and select symbols. This one is going to be our counter bore symbol. This is what a counter bore is, and that's basically this cutout, that circle that gets cut in there. Our counter bore has a depth of 0.375, and I'm going to show that it is a counter bore depth by adding my depth symbol in there. Awesome. Awesome. Once again, this should read R.625. Do not modify your dimension. I'm only doing this as a reference here. I'll take a look and double check and make sure everything looks good for that. However, this is our drawing number 3. Now, there's only one last thing that we got to make sure we do. That's fill out everything in the title block. Your additional info, your name, the date, time slot, and scale, the title of your drawing, and the audience. Make sure everything is correct in there. Make sure everything is filled out and looks as closely to the example drawing as possible that's posted on Schoology. If you have any questions, obviously I'm here and available to help. And this video should only be referenced if absolutely necessary. So just, adjust everything around, make sure everything looks good. I might scoot a couple stuff in, a couple stuff around, but this is basically it. Now, keep in mind, once we're done, we're going to right click and export, and we are going to export our drawing number 3 as a JPEG. So make sure you format it as a JPEG for submission. All right, that is all, folks. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.